Moving on to Muzaffarnagar now, where about 70 students of a residential school were stripped naked by a warden to check for menstrual blood, now triggering protests by the girls' families. Amir continues to be with me on the phone line. Amir, it just gets more bizarre, more disturbing.
Yes, absolutely bizarre and a shocking incident at that, because these are very young girls from 8 years to 12 years who are studying and staying in this residential school, which is a government-run school. Obviously, they come from lower middle class, a class within the society which cannot afford to make their students go to school, make their wards go to school and study while still staying in the hostel. But here, this warden who was in charge of that particular hostel really came down heavily on all these girl students on the pretext of imposing cleanliness and seeing to it that the surroundings remain clean. She found out blood somewhere in the washroom, and therefore, made all those 70 girls who were staying in the hostel take off their clothes and physically check each of them just to check whether they're actually menstruating or not. This kind of a cleanliness is obviously, imposition of such kind of rules would be absolutely absurd. And that is why perhaps the Basic Shiksha Adhikari, the BSA of the district, finally, after getting a complaint from the parents of these girls, took action and suspended this female warden over there. And so far, the government agency seems to have taken some action, but clearly very insensitive of a woman warden to have done this kind of treatment with the girls who were staying there.
Absolutely, and what we understand is now, there were protests that were carried out by the parents. These girls, of course, are among, in the age group of 8 to 12 years or so. Give us more details about whether something like this has happened in the past, because we understand that these girls come from very poor economic backgrounds.
Well, the girls haven't, cited any other incident in the past, but yes, they did say that over the last 4 or 5 days, especially on the last Sunday when they were called into the classrooms, they were asked to take off their clothes and sit there for almost an hour, during which period the warden physically examined each of the girls just to check whether they've started menstruating or not. That was particularly very, very embarrassing for all these young girls. Remember, these are very young girls between the age groups of 8 years to 12 years, and young and impressionable minds at that. And a completely shocking case for them, because here they were staying without their parents into a government-run hostel, and a woman warden behaves with them like that. So that obviously went down very badly with all these girls. They complained to their parents. The parents came over to school, and many of these parents